It is the easiest method to understand. What are the two words? Very good. The words give you the meaning. It is the method of teaching of foreign language through learner's mother tongue. Through what? Yes. You are taught using translation from native language to the target language. Now, what is target language? Whatever you second language you want to learn, whatever is the foreign language is. Suppose I want to learn Chinese through Gujarati. What will be my target language? Chinese will be my target language. What will be my native language? So learn grammar through deductive method. Deductive method means you will first learn the rule, then you learn the examples. You memorize the native language equivalent for the target language. Means you memorize the exact words used in target language. You get the idea, right? So this is
Yes.
pustak. Now I remember the pustak is called book in target language. Okay. So you remember all the equal words. Equivalence means the words used in target language. So translation method is the method of foreign or second language teaching. You teach a foreign language or a second language, and it uses grammar, study, and translation in main teaching and learning activities. Right? So you used to teach foreign or second language manual, and they use translation. In the word is grammar study. So the teacher teaches grammar in detail with every rule and all types of examples and exceptions. Right? Grammar translation method is also used as the word the GTM, GT method. It is also called GT method. Right? It is very a traditional technique. It is the oldest method. The teacher explicitly means openly teaches every aspect of grammar, and he also compares it with the mother tongue. He translates word by word. You see, he translates every sentence, right, from native language into target language, and target language into native language. Each and every sentence. GT method. The meaning of English words, phrases, sentences is taught by means of word by word translation. Now just tell me, what is the meaning of word by word? You translate each and every word. આકાશમાં વાદળો છે. There are clouds in the sky. It's all. Every word translates each and every word. Then he translates the whole sentence. Then he teaches. So what is the basic unit of teaching? Word. What is the basic unit of teaching? Word.
Word.
Each and every word has its principles, means Siddhanto. Each and every word has a theory in mind. Before applying the method, there is some thoughts behind the method. So what are these thoughts? These thoughts say that translation into mother tongue is the best way to understand the linguistic pattern of any language. Now, translation is the best method. If you want to understand another language, you translate. Second thought is structure of a foreign language is best learned when compared and contrasted with the mother tongue. Now, if you compare the structure of your mother tongue with English and the structure of English with the mother tongue, students already know mother tongue. So, if they compare, they easily understand by comparison. So, compare is best. Learning grammar rules help in understanding the written work of the target language. Now, if you are reading something, and if you know your grammar well, you easily understand the meaning of the sentence. If you know the grammar rules perfectly, they will help you understand. They will help you read, right? So that is the basic thoughts behind the method. So grammar translation method is the oldest method. It was first used by Erasmus in 1466 to 1536. It is older than that. It was used originally to teach classical languages like Latin, Greek in the context of India, Sanskrit, and etc. So, because it was used to teach classical languages, it is also called classical method. Tell me this sentence. Why the GT method is called classical method? Was used to just translate and teach classical languages. For example, Latin, Greek, Sanskrit, or also Persian. Okay. So now can
Okay,
you
sir.
tell me it is called classical method? Now why it is called traditional method? These are important questions.
Was
Yes, it is oldest method and it was used traditionally to teach any language in the world, any second language or foreign language. So it is because it was very traditional, very old method, it is now called traditional. Here, this method was used in 20th century with the purpose of helping students to read and appreciate foreign languages literature. Now, what happened in the 20th century? The the world has become a global village, right? So the students from any language in the world wanted to know about the literature of other language. So there was only one way was about translation, right? Bhagavad Gita is translated in almost all the languages in the world. Bible is translated. So translation is the only method to help students to read and appreciate foreign language. The other name of the method is Prussian method. Now Prussia was one of the region in Germany. It is the old name of German. So grammar translation method originated from Germany. Which country? It is called Prussian method. Why it is called Prussian method?
because
Because
first they introduced
in
Rus-
Prussia is the old name of.
German.
So it is called Prussian method. What is the name of Prussian method? Okay. It has dominated for over a century in Europe and Western countries. 1840 to 1940. It was used to teach dead languages. Now, what is dead language? Greek, Latin, they are dead languages. We cannot call Sanskrit a dead language, but we are not using it. So, this method was used to teach dead languages. So, in this slide, which are the other names did you find for GT method? Tell me.
Classic.
Classical method.
It is also called unnatural method, unpsychological method. You tell me why it is unnatural method and unpsychological method. You tell me. What is the psychological or natural way of learning a language? Tell me. What is the natural way of learning a language? Tell me. Natural way of learning a language is you first listen the language, then you try to copy the language, then you speak the language, then you try to read the language, then you try to write the language. This is the natural way of learning a language. Natural process. L, S, R, and
W.
W.
this is the natural. But grammar translation method straight away go to translation. There is no listening or speaking, right? Straight away they move forward to reading and writing. You read something, they do the practice of writing, right? They don't focus on listening and speaking. So the students who have learned English or any classical language or any other language through grammar translation method, they can read very well, they can write very well, but they have problems in speaking and listening. Yes, you have observed this.
Yes, sir.
So now you have understood why it is called unnatural or unpsychological method.
Yes, sir.
Now I give you another word. It is also called indirect method. Now you tell me why it is called indirect method? You are reaching your destination via the language, right? You are not
Because
learning the language using the same language. You get the idea? So
yes,
it
sir.
is not called a direct method. It is called
Direct method.
indirect method. Now, what is our second topic? Direct method, right? So now you get the idea. It is completely opposite of this method. That's why it is called. This is called indirect method, and that is called direct method. Now you make a list of other words that are used for GT method. Now you tell me. Let's start with one. So, what is the goal? What are the characteristics of GT method? So, the goal of foreign language study, right? To learn a language in order to read its literature. That is the goal of this method. Who dominates? Mother tongue dominates. In the classroom, almost 80% communication, 90% communication is done in mother tongue. Every time, all the instructions are given in mother tongue. So, mother tongue dominates in the classroom. Vocabulary selection is based on reading text. You have seen the grammar translation textbooks. There is a paragraph, and based on the paragraph, you learn the vocabulary. You learn the translations of each and every word. Bilingual word list. Now, what is bilingual word list? What is bilingual word list? List of words with two languages means Gujarati list, and then it's translated English list, right? So that is bilingual word list. A word list in which there are two languages of the same word is given. Dictionary study is done. Memorization, you have to remember the meaning of parrot. Parrot means poppert. Parrot means poppert. Monkey means vandro. Monkey means vandro. Right? Have you done this in your childhood?
Yes, sir.
So it is memorization. In direct method, you don't memorize. They show you the picture of parrot, right? So it is not memorization. It is association. You are associating the word parrot with the photo of parrot. Accuracy is emphasized. Basic unit of teaching is word. Now, what is the meaning of basic unit? Anyone know? Hmm? Anyone know? Basic unit of teaching is word. Means when the teacher teaches English language, he teach the word by word. He explain each and every word. He translate word by word. This is Vipul means this means is means che, Vipul means Vipul, Vipul, che. Right? Okay. Now
Okay, sir.
accuracy is now. Do you know the meaning of accuracy in the reference to grammar? What is accuracy in reference to grammar? Can anyone tell me? There are four sentences. Tell me which is the correct sentence. Okay. Now, if you read other words, it will change the meaning, right? Means if you
Yes.
are not grammatically accurate, if you are not grammatically positioning words accurately, is it changes the meaning? Is it changing the meaning? Meaning, yes or no, right?
Yes.
So this sentence is only shows you if you don't know grammar properly, actually it will change the meaning. So this method focuses on correctness, correct positioning of words in a sentence. Grammar is taught prescriptively. Prescriptively means first rule, then explanation. First rule and then hello.
Explanation.
Yeah, explanation examples. They
Sir.
follow Nigman method. Which method? They think that grammar is the soul of language. And if you learn the soul of language, you read the heart of the language, isn't it? They think. They
Yes.
think that grammar is the soul of language. So, what is the main activity during this classroom? What is the main activity in GT method classroom? Explanation of grammar rules and translation. Reading and writing is more emphasized. Which skills are more emphasized? Which skills are more emphasized?
Reading and writing.
Reading and writing.
How is the syllabus? Prose, poetry, and grammatical structure exercises. And teacher is dependent on textbook content, bilingual list of words, and rigid exercises. Right? Students have to follow all the exercises. So, do you think grammar translation method is good for us or bad for us? So, there are some merits, there are some advantages of this method, and there are some demerits of the method. This will be asked in examinations. Okay, there may be words like if they ask merits, what will you write? Do you think GT method is proper? What will you answer? Give your opinion. So if you say
Yes.
if you say opinion is yes, it is helpful. So you have to give the reasons, then you will give advantages. Now, if you give your answer as no, what will you give? You will give disadvantages. Okay.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay, sir.
So merits. So though people who find this method great, they will say they will argue. They will argue that comparison between two languages help students better understand the language. Right? Translation help you understand the concept. Right? That's why most of the people in the world believe that the students in the primary education should study through their mother tongue medium, isn't it? If their mother tongue is great, they can understand the other language easily. Translation is the easiest way. Now, if I force you, all of you, to explain each and every word in English and use any technique, it will be difficult for you and for the students. But if I tell you, translate the word, how much time will it take? Tell me. A second? A millisecond? Yes?
Yes, sir.
અહીંયા એક શબ્દ લખ્યો છે acquisition. Now, how will you explain the word acquisition? Acquisition means ગ્રહણ કરવું. કેટલી વાર લાગી મને? 1 second. Right? It is easy for teachers, right? Because teacher don't need any audio visual aids, no pictures, no TLM, no lesson plans, right? Just go in the classroom holding the textbook, right? Does it need to prepare anything?
Nothing, sir.
Yes. It is least stressful. There is no stress of learning new language. If you are learning new language through translation method, there is no stress on teacher as well as on the students because they already know what language, right? You know there is the there is a difference given here. I have intentionally put this slide. You know there is difference between first language acquisition and second language acquisition. I told you in the terms related to ELT. Do you remember this? Second language acquisition process and first language acquisition process, right? First language acquisition is quite natural process, subconscious process. But second language acquisition is active process. You have to be conscious effort to learn the second language, right? Okay.
Yes, sir.
So it helps you be correct in grammar. You are very correct. It increase vocabulary quite fast, rapidly, right? Most important is you become a student of having art of translation, right? You know how to translate. You know, if you ask English medium students to translate from Gujarati to English, they will not be able to answer you, right? But if you ask GT method student, he will quickly translate English into Gujarati and Gujarati into English, vice versa. Yes,
Yes, sir.
strong memory bond.
Yes.
You remember everything. It saves time. It is very economical. કોઈ પૈસા જ નથી ખર્ચવાના. It is very economical method. In a country like India or where the economical problems persist, it is advisable to use GT method in teaching second language. It is very useful in overcrowded class. When the class is big, there are so many students. It is easy for students to use GT method rather than direct method, right? Overcrowded class. Now, what is the meaning of overcrowded class? Students move from known to unknown. Means they already know in mother tongue, then to slowly move to the unknown in the second language. You can easily test the ability of the student, their comprehension, their understanding. Teacher labor is saved. Textbooks are there. There is mother tongue is there. Teacher can easily teach the students. There is no difficulty on the part of the pupils and no difficulty or labor on the part of the teacher. Accuracy is emphasized. That's why students who learn from GT method, they are very accurate in their grammar. Now, what are the demerits? There are merits. So, what are the demerits? Can you tell me? Yes, please. Yes, because we focus on reading and writing, students listening and speaking skill are will be weak. Students are not able to use the language. They know the language very well. They have great knowledge of grammar and the vocabulary, but they are not finding the words while they speak. આપણે જ્યારે બોલીએ ત્યારે words don't come, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
But you know the language. I'm not saying that. Though you know the language, speak. And overemphasis on translation. Translation is the soul of okay. But what happens? Translation ruins the meaning of the language. Yes. Can you translate each and everything? So translation ruins the meaning of the language. Can you tell me how translation ruins the meaning? મેં તમને ત્રણ ચાર એક્ઝામ્પલ આપ્યા દેખાય છે ट्रांसलेशन किया गया है कुछ बदलने का पक्ष ओके
Yes, sir.
लेट्स गो आउट फॉर अ डेट that is the English. Let's go out for a date. एक खजूर के लिए बाहर चलो. That date meaning date also has the meaning of khajur, right? Now there is another. Now phrases and idioms are difficult to translate. Bro, let's hang out. भाई चलो बाहर लटकते हैं, right? So can you translate Charan Kanya in English? Is it good for Gujarati or English both? So the same happens with English poems, English creations. So we are not able to translate everything. Means you cannot translate proverbs. Can you translate proverbs? કડવું ઓસડ માં પાય. પછી ઓલું છે વડ તેવા ટેટન બાપ તેવા બેટા. There are phrases, રૂઢિ પ્રયોગ છે ને. રૂઢિપ્રયોગ છે એક રૂઢિપ્રયોગ મમ્મી કે પપ્પા આપણે ખીજાવ્યો તો એમ કે મોઢામાં મગ ભર્યા છે how will you translate this how will you translate this so it is difficult to translate so translation is good but up to some limit translate translation will not be able to fill the soul of language right it ruins the soul of language the creativity the beauty of language translation always ruins તમને ખબર છે ruins નો મતલબ શું થાય so over emphasis on translation is not a good idea it leaves too much emphasis can be told reading or writing so it neglects listening and speaking it is totally unnatural matter it is unpsychological matter it is it is used for literary works but you cannot translate literary works right memorizing grammar rules will be good for those students who are very brilliant, but for the weak students, they can't memorize the words. Spelling બધાને યાદ રહેતા તમારા ક્લાસમાં
ના સર.
right? There is no scope for effective communication. Very tedious for learner. Learner students are very inactive in the classroom, right? You cannot be fluent in any language by translation only. You need to read the language. એટલે હું ઘણી વાર તમને કહું છું કે ઇંગ્લિશ ન્યૂઝપેપર્સ વાંચો ઇંગ્લિશ બુક્સ વાંચો ઇંગ્લિશ સાંભળો there is you cannot be fluent only based on translation right can I have a very good example murder of English can anyone read it I have zoomed it can anyone read the sentences these are murder of English so give me a blue pen of any color the principal is revolving in the corridor so what is the meaning of that the principal is revolving in the corridor. It's raining cats and dogs. What is the meaning of that? It's raining cats and dogs. So this is the biggest issue. We feel that students are learning the language. No, they are translating the language. They are not actually learning. Students are very passive. As I told you, it is unnatural method. It is unpsychological method. As I told you, exact translation is not possible of everything. Idioms, phrases, જેને આપણે રૂઢિપ્રયોગ કહીએ છીએ, right? Correct pronunciation નો તો પ્રશ્ન જ નથી. We do not teach correct pronunciation, so there is the problem. Students who are learning from GT method, their pronunciation is very faulty, right? Those who remember very well, they get good marks. Those who don't remember, they will not get good marks in this method. So these are the basic activities. The process, teacher is the main authority. Classroom is teacher centered.